Tuesday. Hi, welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. It's Halloween month, it's October. We're going to be talking kind of a breakdown of episode 2 of The Walking Teens, and kind of spoilers, so be warned if you haven't seen it, there's going to be spoilers in here. For now, jump down in the comments below, let me know which is your favorite Walking Dead series or favorite character, and are you going to stick it out with this series? You should know that I might not. That might give you an indication of where this is going. So, episode 2 starts off exactly where episode 1 left off, where the young lass is going to try and kill that zombie. As I mentioned in the first episode, she swings at it, and I thought, there's no ways you're going to kill a zombie that way. If we know anything about The Walking Dead, that is not how you kill, what do they call them? An empty. And that's where this episode concentrates on flashbacks of how to kill zombies and flashbacks of character development. We get Alex's flashback, we get to see him kill his parents and zombies, and also how they just didn't like the fact that he was gay, and so we have that kind of backstory. This whole episode feels very slow, very long-winded. It is the most padding episode I have ever watched of TV, where the whole episode just feels like padding. And it's so weird to do that in episode 2. You needed to kind of keep up the momentum. We have a few moments that I really enjoyed, so that's not to say that the whole episode I just thought was rubbish. There's some amazing prosthetics when it comes to the zombies. As always, the team that make the zombies, the makeup, are top-notch. They're brilliant. We have the zombie in the tree, you know, who has had the grown moss over his face. We have the one with the bees flowing out the mouth. I thought all of those moments were great. And when we get into the last 10 minutes of the episode, that is pretty much where the kind of only really good kind of momentum in the story goes. The first 40 minutes of this episode is all about kind of teen stuff. What should we do? How should we do it? Kind of trying to build character development. They find a tree house and they stay there for the night, and there they kind of have this bowling ball called Big Mo, and it's becoming a character like Wilson. Yeah. But they have to use it to take out a zombie. You know, the kids not being able to actually kill any zombies. It does seem like they don't want to kill any zombies. None of them have yet. They just kind of push them away or push them aside. We saw the first kind of kill the zombie that gets stuck in the tree. They're unable to kill any zombies. And in this world, as we know, the Walking Dead zombies, or the empties, are totally unforgiving. And so not for a moment do I believe that these kids would survive in this. It just feels totally unrealistic. So that at the end we get that 10 minutes, which amazing sets. Again, things to like in this episode. They're one of the first shots, the shot selection of seeing a rundown building that's crumpled on the side, them walking. It has atmosphere. Unfortunately, I just feel like they've really kind of embraced the teen angst. And not for a moment do I believe that even if you were teens living in this time zone, would you act like a teen. I think people would have been forced to grow up pretty quickly, even though they've come from a community of where they've tried to have school, they know of zombies, they know of the constant threat. There are stories and people that tell them, you know, it's part of their schooling how to kill zombies, how to survive. It's all part of their schooling. Part of their schooling is self-defense. That is all grown up. So none of this should be really new to him. So not for a moment do I believe they would really embrace the kind of natural I guess, teen angst stuff that you would get in today's society, because it's not today's society. It's set in the same world of where we have The Walking Dead, set near enough the same time zone, I believe, and we're even going to have some crossovers. So all of that, when they're doing that, I always feel like, what is this series for? Where is it going? Because we have the major arc, but for this second episode, they're just walking. They're trying to get from A to B, get closer to where they last know their father to be, well, the two sisters. But other than that, it just feels weird. We have a young kid wearing corduroy, who apparently corduroy is like an armor against zombies. I don't believe that for a second. Also, he loves taking photographs, but he has a weird view on the world, and he also probably won't be able to kill any of the zombies. We have the hero, not hero, kind of badass sister that is also scared of killing zombies. We have the young lad who's also unable to scare, and he's unable to kill any zombies. So we have that theme that they're obviously gonna have to get to where Rick Grimes is eventually, although I don't know anybody can get to that level of killing efficiency. But yeah, if you take Rick's son, even at the beginning, Rick's son had more intensity than these kids do. I feel like that's what's missing. The Walking Dead used to have immense intensity. Here, it just feels like I'm watching a teen drama, but they happen to be living in the world that has zombies in it. It really doesn't feel like The Walking Dead just yet. Okay, maybe I'm counting the chickens too early before they hatch, and I need to give it a few more episodes, but I was so surprised at the pacing of this. It was incredibly slow. Not a lot happened. And eventually some stuff does start happening towards the end when we see them trying to cross this debris field of smoke and fire and tires and, you know, degraded buses, and there's an airstrip that they're trying to get to. But that's literally like the last 10 minutes. There's also a continuity issue here, well, more a scripting issue, where they said they want to wait till sundown, till nighttime, so they can cross. And then they wait the whole night and they go early in the morning. So I never understood what was happening there. Maybe they were just waiting to rest up, but it seemed like they were trying to tell us that they were going to go during the night, but they didn't. They went during the morning, which I guess maybe because there's so much thick smoke, they needed some light so they could judge by the sun which direction they needed to head east, but they lost the sun, so they kind of just had to go any direction. And lucky, I feel like they have like a luck 10,000 in this series, because even when the girl fell over with the zombie into the pit, she didn't get impaled, but she should have had a couple of broken bones, a couple of broken ribs in that scene. She fell quite far and landed on cement and tree and zombie, and somehow she kind of, you know, just kind of shake it off like a cartoon. She did throw up over the zombie, but that was about it. The last minute we see the badass hero sister going to do what she needs to do, almost like she's going to sacrifice herself, call the zombies to her. But that is where the story starts to get interesting for this whole episode, the last minute. And I thought, that is the story I want to see, but you've made it pad out the whole episode into that minute. And if I think about it, there's nothing in this episode that I couldn't really have cut. You could have probably condensed this episode into 5 minutes and then had that fire scene at the end, and that would have been interesting. You could have had the drama, but made it more intense and emotional in amongst the kind of intense action of the zombies. Felix is an interesting character, and I feel like the adult dynamics are going to get better. I quite like them. They're also a bit teeny, even though they're adults. He does say, "I swear to God," a lot, which just seems to be like scripted. Like he's lying. The thing that I say, my character says, is, "I swear to God." But every time you encounter something that the teens have left for them, like a clue, like, hey, you know, follow this clue, like a gingerbread trail. Yeah, he goes, "I swear to God," which is a weird line to repeat. I think it happened 3 times, maybe 4. I also feel like they're going to go the relationship route with the 2 sisters and the 2 boys. There were moments in this episode I went, please don't go into the girlfriend and boyfriend route. I don't feel like you've given us nearly enough time. There's no chemistry there really, but it almost felt like they were starting to head that way. There were moments where they were talking to each other and it felt like they could have gone that way. I'm really glad they didn't, but it seems like they could go that way, and I'm hoping that is not the cliche storyline that they're going to go for. Let me know in the comments below, where do you think they should go with this series? What would make it better? Will you stick it out? I don't know. Thanks so much for watching this breakdown spoiler review. I think my favorite moment was in the treehouse with the bowling ball, but then with playing Monopoly. Just the idea of playing Monopoly in a zombie apocalypse in the treehouse is very the last kids on Earth. I was like, this is like one of those moments, and that seems to be the demographic they're going for. Although I did like the moments. So thanks so much for watching this zombie filled breakdown of episode 2 of The Walking Teens. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.